Welcome to the FitBiz Accelerator, your ultimate guide to launching, growing, and scaling a thriving online fitness business. I'm your host, Tobias Young. And whether you're just starting out or looking to take your business to the next level, this podcast is packed with actionable tips, real-world strategies, and the insights you need to crush your business goals and build the business of your dreams. Now that you're here, let's dive in. Welcome back to the FitBiz Accelerator Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about something that every fitness business owner needs to understand if they want to grow beyond just trading your dollars for time, right? We're talking about building a brand and not just getting more clients, but not just more content and not just being busy all day, but actually building something with structure, with systems, with purpose, and the ability to scale beyond you being the only person holding the whole thing together. My guests today are Alex and Kate DeBiase. Did I say it right? DeBiase?
Close.
DeBiase. Okay. And they've built a children's enrichment business around movement and mindfulness through programs like dance and yoga and many like movers. And now, even though their business serves children, this conversation is not just about kids' fitness. This is about what it takes to build something real, a brand that people trust, a business that can be duplicated, and a mission that actually matters, and a model that can expand into new locations and new communities and potentially even franchising. Woo! So for the online fitness coaches listening, there are going to be a ton of lessons in here. So how to build around purpose, how to create a reputable and repeatable system, how to train others to deliver your method, how to stay consistent when the business gets hard, and how to think bigger than just being the coach doing every session yourself. Alex and Kate, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you both here. And before we dive into the business side, right, give everybody just a quick little background, who you are, what do you do, and what's the brand that you...
Okay, so who we are. You want to go first?
Sure. I'm Alex DeBiase, and I'm just here as support for all intents and purposes. Even though I was the one who had the idea to franchise your business, I was a medical device sales guy for many years. And back in 2024, I thought, what a cool idea it would be to franchise my wife's business, and finally quit my job almost exactly a year ago. And that's in essence how I arrived here.
Yeah. And me, I'm Kate. I started Creative Kids in 1998, ran it on the side for many years while I went into sales and corporate training management, and finally had my burnout moment back in, 10 years ago now, actually, that brought me back to Creative Kids full time. And then fast forward, and we franchised the business officially last year. So it's been, I think, a pretty cool journey.
Right. Sure. So one thing that really stood out to me about your story is the transition from the corporate grind into building something that you are actually passionate about. So a lot of fitness professionals can really relate to that. And they might still be working another job. They may be training in person full time, but dreaming of something bigger, right? They may know that they're capable of more, but they're still stuck in a model that doesn't feel really aligned. So can you walk us through that season of your life? Like, what made you realize we need to build something different?
Yeah. So I started the business when I was 20 years old. And it's funny, we were just talking about it before we got on the show with you, and love my dad to death. But he said, you can't teach dance forever. So that's when I finished my bachelor's degree and went into sales for a commercial printing company, which is actually where Alex and I met. After that, transitioned eventually into a role in corporate training management for a medical device company. And it's a role that would have been great for anybody else. I still had Creative Kids running it on the side. I had an amazing instructor, but I was feeling left out and unfulfilled and miserable in my corporate job. So I came home miserable and crying, and Alex asked me what I wanted to do. So I told him that I wanted to go back to teaching. He said, put on your sales hat and make it happen. Well, that's pretty scary. And I think it's scary for a lot of people because like you said, everybody dreams about doing these things, but having the dream and having it be reality can be scary. So for me, it was a matter of putting my head down and doing the work, because I knew that if it was going to happen, I had to quickly replace that income. So.
Yeah. Nice. And I think one of the biggest or one of the strongest brands are built around more than just a product, right? They're built around a mission. And your business happens to serve children through movement and mindfulness and dance and yoga and enrichment.
Yeah.
But the bigger idea is helping kids build confidence and focus and coordination and emotional regulation and life skills. So how did you get clear on the bigger purpose behind the business, and how important has that purpose been in building your brand?
Oh my gosh, it's been huge. When I started the business, really, I started it teaching dance, but when I went back to it full time, that's when I realized just what it was and just the kind of impact that we were having on kids, helping them learn and grow and develop new skills, but also the way that we bring our program on site to daycares and schools. Not only is it a huge impact for kids, it's a huge impact for families because it gives parents an opportunity kids are in daycare 40 plus hours a week. And now they have an opportunity to have their kids involved in these programs and have their evenings and weekends free. So as I got older and we have kids, that became a huge part of the mission as well.
And a lot of coaches have a good idea. They want to help people. They're passionate. They know they can make an impact. But there's a big difference between having an idea and turning it into an actual business. So what were the first steps that you took to turn your vision into something real that you have like right now?
So I think the first steps, I didn't know the first steps when I started it because I really didn't go into it with a plan. I didn't go into it starting a business. But in 2016, that's when the steps really started to fall into place. You have to know your mission, obviously. You have to have a plan. Whether or not you go through the steps of writing a huge business plan is, we didn't write a huge business plan at first, but you have to have a structured curriculum. You have to know what you're going to bring to the people that you're working with. So that's a huge part of it.
Yeah. And in the beginning, nobody knows who you are yet, right? You don't have the reputation. You don't have the trust yet. You don't have the momentum. So what did you do early on to build trust with your community and get people to believe in what you were actually creating?
Yeah.
Reliability, number one. In the children's enrichment business, we hear it all the time. All the franchisees say the same thing. We were uncomfortable about bringing these programs in because we had something like it and the teachers never showed up and they didn't call. And so that was your big thing for years. Yeah. And I think we say it's 99.7% of the classes are held on time and on the scheduled time. And I will tell you that in our training program, it's pretty simple. Kate always says, if you got sniffles, you're still going to work.
Still going to work. Kids have sniffles. You can have sniffles with them.
Yeah.
So, that's a big part of building trust, making sure that you're there when you say that you're going to be there and you do what you say you're going to do.
Nice.
No matter what the business is.
Right.
Yeah. And this is where I want the fitness coaches to really lean in, because if your business only works because of your personality or your energy or your schedule and your delivery, it's going to be hard to scale. You have to eventually turn what you do into a repeatable method, like you guys were talking about. You built your programs with year-round, week-to-week, lesson plans that help instructors with classroom management and movement skills and dance techniques and yoga skills and the overall experience. So how did you go from this is what we do to this is a system that other people can follow?
Well,
80 hours a week.
It was 80 hours a week. But I would say that this is where I did lean on my corporate training management background, because we created a whole learning platform that has all the tools, resources, training videos, marketing materials, everything somebody needs to build a business. So we have that learning platform, but then we go the next layer too. When we do the in-person training in their communities, we do weekly sales training and monthly coaching calls. But really, it's just a matter of taking your recipe and making sure that it's repeatable for anyone to do.
Nice. Yeah. And this is such a big lesson for online coaches, because a lot of people think systems make the business feel less personal. But in my opinion, systems are what allow you to deliver a better and more consistent experience. And they also give you more freedom, obviously.
Yeah.
So how have systems helped you guys grow with everything, depending upon you personally doing every single thing?
That's a tough question. I don't think that if there's one hole in our game, I think that systematically we could use improvement when it comes to who's doing what and like a real structure. We're really a real small team. It's obviously Kate and I. We have a training manager. We have a territory development specialist. We have an administrative assistant. And that's pretty much the whole of the team. We actually have a mentor. One of our franchisees is a mentor for the other franchisees as well. And we really should spend the same time that we put together the system for the franchisees, for the management team. But we do get things done. We come from corporate backgrounds, and we have our lane and we just get it done. But I think that we probably would be more productive and more efficient if we had a better system on the management side.
We do have a spreadsheet.
Oh, we do have
a spreadsheet. We do have a checklist. But still, hey, did you do this yet? No, why?
Oh, yeah. She's a tough manager.
Yeah. And one of the hardest things for any business owner is letting other people kind of deliver the experience, because at first you think nobody will care as much as I do. And honestly, that can be scary. Like, how did you start training instructors to deliver the program in a way that still felt aligned with your brand and your standards?
Yeah, that is the scariest thing. And that was the hardest thing for me when we decided to franchise, because this truly is my baby. And it was important to me that when it was a final decision that we were going to do this, it was important that whatever systems and processes we had in place, it was going to demonstrate that this is the expectations. You are now part of Creative Kids. So this is what we expect from you. This is how classes are run. This is how you interact with the kids. But I think it goes back even before that to the whole discovery process with the owners. We can see when we're talking to people if everybody uses the word passion. You have to be passionate about, but it's true. You have to be passionate about at least one of our modalities. You have to be passionate about working with kids. You have to be passionate about going in and owning a business. Surprisingly, not everybody's passionate about owning a business.
And it's also about a motor. Like, you can tell if somebody's got the right amount of hustle and drive in that discovery process.
Yeah.
A lot of making sure that the franchisees and instructors beyond them that are coming on are actually doing what we want them to do is finding the right people to begin with.
That's huge. Yeah, you got to get A+ players. And when you start growing too, consistency also becomes everything, because the brand is not just the logo. It's how people feel when they interact with you. It's the experience. It's the trust. It's whether people know what to expect. So how do you protect the quality of the experience as the business grows?
I think that through the work that we do with our community, they all know the passion that was behind Creative Kids when it started. And to me, showing gratitude, being present. And when I say showing gratitude, it's showing gratitude to the families, the kids, daycares that we work with, and just really, really being part of the brand. And I think everybody that is here with us right now feels like they are part of something bigger.
So important. Yeah, really important. And also, I want to touch upon, you mentioned that you connect with my story because a lot of the lessons are very similar, right? One foot in front of the other, and just doing the work and consistency and discipline and staying with it even when it's not glamorous, right? There's going to be plenty of time you want to quit, right? I think that is such a big part of business that people don't always want to hear. How has consistency actually played a role in your growth?
It's everything. I will tell you that I do weekly sales calls with each franchisee, and some of them have aged out. They've gotten to a point where they really don't need that anymore. But we go through this process where every little win counts, how to build momentum, how to build their confidence. And it's the metrics that are a part of that and the discipline. It's just so important. And really, mindset is where everything begins. And I think that every one of our franchisees would laugh when they hear me talk about mindset, because it's just so important to what I believe and what I believe is possible for them. And I want them to understand they should be believing in what's possible for them in the same way that I can see it. And over a short period of time, we see some go from very scared to super confident and building great businesses. And it's through that one foot in front of another model.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think mindset is one of those things too, that it's not super sexy. Nobody wants like, I want to learn mindset. But you do, like once you start to get it, you're like, oh my God, this is so good. But was there ever a point when you realized like, this is not just something that we can do locally, like this could actually grow into something much bigger? And what was that moment like for you guys?
Well, Kate will tell you she absolutely hated me for a period of time because
he took away my peace.
Mm-hmm.
I was so content with what I had that I never expected to build a franchise.
Yeah, I'm a real what's possible guy. And when I got the idea into my head, I literally could see what was possible. And people talk about, I'm scared to jump in and it's financially ridiculous, and it has been. But if you believe it and you can actually visualize it and see, and I could right from the beginning, I still can. Yeah. And it's funny because we just came back from Arizona from our retreat, and we had 10 of 11 territories represented, which is amazing. I mean, it's not even been a year since we became a franchise, but it's the kind of thing that I saw happening back in the summer of 2024. And it's literally playing out almost note for note.
Yeah, that's great. And you mentioned that franchising can be a great path for someone who has a scalable business and wants to expand nationally. So a lot of fitness coaches hear the word franchising and they immediately think like, oh, man, that sounds huge, or that sounds complicated, and that sounds way above where I'm at right now. So can you break that down a little bit? What makes franchising an attractive model for growth?
Well, I will tell you,
it's all the things that you just
exactly said. It is challenging. It is. There's a ton of regulatory stuff and legal stuff to go through. But again, it's belief in yourself. If you believe you have something that needs to be shared and that can be scalable and can drop into any market, you just have to fight your way through the tough stuff and realize that there is something really special happening on the other side.
Yeah. I will say that having gone through it, initially unwillingly having gone through it, but seeing where we are now and the momentum that we're building, aside from having my territory and being really proud of that, it's definitely a moment that's like, you know what, I get to take what I love and share it with others and have them have that same feeling that I do. And that's really what drives me and keeps me moving in this whole thing.
Yeah, that's good. And before someone even thinks about franchising or licensing and hiring coaches or expanding into new markets, what needs to be dialed in first? Because I see this all the time. People, they want to scale, but the foundation isn't strong yet. So what should business owners have documented and tested and proven before they try to expand?
Everything. So when we were going through this process, it was important to me to have everything that everybody needed. And for us, that's putting together a learning platform that teaches them how to start their business, how to develop it, and how to grow it. We have checklists. We go all the way through step-by-step sales and marketing. How are you going to work the sales process? Then going into the communications piece of it, we put together all the communications that they need to send out to parents and daycares. So truly, they have every single thing they need to run their business. And we actually had our system assessed by an independent party who looks at companies' learning platforms. And we did it because we didn't know. This was new to us. And we were given an A+ rating because of everything that we had. So that's what I would say. If you have a solid system, then you'll have success. But it all starts with that foundation. If you don't have a solid system, you're going to be scrambling.
Yeah, and that leads me into my next question is like, what are some of the mistakes that you guys see business owners make when they're trying to grow too fast, or even lessons that you had to learn the hard way?
Yeah.
Well, when we talk about our system being given an A+ rating, that didn't happen accidentally. One thing we did not talk about is when we first started in last year, when we decided what we're going to franchise, we knew that there was going to be a period of time before we got through the regulatory and legal stuff. And so what we did is we expanded into several markets first, and that started last winter. And by the time we were given approval by New York State to franchise, we had expanded into like 7 or 8 markets, something like that. It gave us an opportunity to see where there were holes in our game.
Yeah.
We had live tests going on in 6 or 7 markets. And I'm thankful for that. It was created some tough times because we're like, oh man, we didn't think of this, or we didn't think of that.
Yeah, you think you have everything until you realize that every market is different. Every territory owner is different. So we had some growing pains to start, but it made us that much better for everyone that comes on now. So yeah, that was probably the biggest thing. And it's going to happen to everybody that starts a business. It's a learning curve.
Yeah, there'll be bumps in the road.
Yeah, beautiful. A lot of fit coaches or fitness professionals in general, they start because they love coaching, they love helping people, and they love fitness. But passion alone does not build a business. You need offers, and you need marketing, and you need operations, and you need delivery, and you need leadership. So what advice would you give someone who's passionate, but they're still trying to turn that passion into a real brand?
Yeah, you need to have a team around you. You can't do it on your own. Alex and I are fortunate because we came from the business background. We came from commercial printing, so we knew marketing really well, and we had resources in sales. So we had marketing resources to help us put the right brand together and the right message together. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is passion alone isn't going to get you there. You have to have a team, no matter how small that team is, to help you get to where you want to be.
So true. Yeah. And I also want to talk about building this together. A lot of people listening either work with a spouse, or they want to work with a spouse, or they have family involved in the business. So what's that been like for you too? And what have you learned about communication and roles and working together towards that same vision?
Yeah, we learned a lot, and I'll start with my shortcomings. How is that?
I think it's appropriate.
I know it's going to be hard to believe, Tobias, but I have trouble relinquishing control. So that was, again, this was my baby. So allowing someone else to have input at first was really difficult for me. But then I sat back and I realized if this was going to happen, I can't do it all on my own. It can't just be my opinion. I have a partner who we've been together for almost 16 years now, married for 11, but a partner who saw me, who told me to go back to doing what I love. So he saw the whole thing unfold, and it was almost like really natural thing for the two of us to do this together.
That's so cool.
I don't even need to add anything to that.
It's like, yeah, that's good because I couldn't do it with my wife. I just couldn't. But let's talk to the coach who's listening right now and they feel stuck. Maybe they're tired of trading time for money, and maybe they know they want more freedom, and maybe they're doing good work, but they have not yet turned in a true system or a brand yet. What would you say to that person?
Just start.
Man, absolutely.
Just start. Because if you don't start tomorrow, guess what? You're probably not going to start the next day or the day after that. And then all of a sudden it's going to be 5 years later and you're going to be sitting there saying, why didn't I do this?
I'm living proof, actually.
Yeah.
We talked about this in 2019 and it took us 6 years. Is that what it was, before we finally got this thing going? And honestly, I wish I took that shot back when I was 40, not 55.
Yeah. I see that happen all the time. Coaches, like, they want to go online or they want to do different things, and they try to make everything perfect, and they try to make their post perfect before they get started with anything. But then they never do anything because they're like, man, I don't want to go on video and not have it look perfect. And they spend like a month like trying to do their first video. I'm like, no, just get it out there, get those reps in. Like the more reps you get in, the better that you're going to get. Like the first time you pick up a basketball and you try to make a basket, you're going to suck. It's okay. But by the 100th time, you're starting to kind of get the hang of it. And by the 1,000th time, you're starting to hit some shots. Like, it's all about getting those reps in. So don't like try to make everything perfect in the beginning. And for the coach that's listening who wants to eventually grow beyond themselves, what should they start documenting right now? Like their client journey, their onboarding, weekly delivery, workout, sales process standards. Where would you tell them to start?
I think where I would say to start is what's easiest for them and build around it. So if you have a really solid plan for your clients and a solid training system, start by documenting that and then develop everything else around your strengths, and it will all eventually come together. But you have to start somewhere. And if you start someplace that's hard for you, you're not going to start.
Nice. I like that. Yeah. Start in your comfort zone so you feel more comfortable, and then you can just start slowly growing outside of that. And when you look back at the journey so far, you guys, what's one lesson that has shaped the way that you build, you lead, and you grow the most?
I'll tell you, for me, when we brought on Marissa in Buffalo, this is somebody I used to work with, and we were friends, but she made a transformation in her life over the period that we stopped working. And she has such an amazing sense of appreciation and gratitude for pretty much everything. And that has been the biggest gift, I think, from a leadership standpoint, is being around that and learning from her what appreciation really looks like and what gratitude really looks like. That's really it's a gift, and it's changed how I think both of us lead this organization.
Yeah, I can't tell you how important it is to have the right players on the team. If you have somebody that's not really in there and they're just looking for a job or whatever it is, they're going to fade out. They're not going to be into it. They're going to be dragging. They're going to be calling in sick, all those kind of things. But you have somebody that's on the same mission as you, that's passionate. Like, oh my God, it just makes a world of difference. But now I want to hit you guys with some rapid fire questions. These are just quick. First thing that comes to mind. You guys ready for this?
Maybe.
All right. What's one word you would use to describe entrepreneurship?
Exciting.
What's one thing every brand needs if it wants to scale?
They need to have a great look. They need to look professional.
Right. What's one business lesson that you had to learn the hard way?
That's a good question. I can tell you that we thought when we built our systems that we had it locked. And then we dropped into different markets with different personalities. And, the markets themselves are really unique unto themselves.
No one market is the same.
No. And we just learned that not to make assumptions pretty much about anything or anybody.
Yep. What's one thing people underestimate about building a business?
The amount of time and energy you're going to have to put into it.
What's one habit that's helped you guys grow?
Discipline and daily gratitude.
Belief.
What's one system that you could not run the business without?
Moodle.
My God, our learning management system on the whole.
Yeah.
Whatever your LMS is, absolutely.
Yeah. And for those of you fitness coaches out there, I'm going to give you a plug. Try FitPro Solution. It has everything that you're going to need inside there. What's one piece of advice for someone leaving the corporate grind?
I will tell you what. Take the shot. Stop sitting around thinking about it.
Yes.
Take the shot.
All right. What's one thing you wish more people understood about franchising or expansion?
Franchising is not a negative word. And I think when we went into this, I think we even saw it that way.
Yeah.
It was before we understood the difference between a startup and a franchise is the difference of roughly 30 or 40% over 5 years in terms of success and failure. So the franchises in 5 years, 85% of them are still around. Most startups are gone within, 60 something percent are
because
gone.
Because they don't
in the
have the right
years.
systems and processes.
Yeah.
Yep. That's huge. Systems I would put up super high with a lot of people in there. And finally, what's one thing you are most excited about in the next chapter of your brand?
Excited to see how many lives we're going to impact. This past year, we had more than 2,000 students go through our programs. So I'm excited to see how many more franchisees are going to pursue their passion and come on board with us, and how many more families and kids they're going to impact by doing it.
This has been awesome. So before we wrap up, where can people learn more about you, connect with you, or find out more about your programs?
ckmovementnetwork.com. That's our website. You'll learn all about our classes, where we are, franchise opportunities, our territories, all the other good stuff that we have.
Kate, thank you so much for being here. I think this conversation is going to hit home for a lot of fitness professionals because so many coaches are trying to figure out how to turn what they love into something that can actually grow. And the big takeaway is this: a strong brand is not built by accident. It's built with purpose. It's built with consistency, and it's built with systems. It's built by documenting what works, and it's built by creating an experience that other people can believe in, they can follow, and eventually help you deliver. So for the coaches listening, do not just think about getting more clients. Think about the business that you're actually building. Think about the method. Think about the client experience. Think about the systems, the brand, because the goal is not just to stay busy. The goal is to build something that can grow beyond you. Thanks again for tuning in to the FitBiz Accelerator Podcast, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for tuning in to the FitBiz Accelerator. If you found value in today's episode, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a tip or strategy to grow your online fitness business. And if you're ready to fast track your success, don't forget to check out tntfitprocoaching.com. Until next time, stay consistent, stay focused, and keep crushing it.